Alright, time for some chain lube on this chain. When you start seeing rust on your chain, it needs lube on it. You know, it looks like it's lubed there. Ain't no lube on it, it's rusting. So what I do is I put a little piece of cardboard here between the tire and where you're going to lube. Put it like this so it kind of catches some of the excess. And we'll squirt right down on top of the chain there. So I use chain wax. It works really good. It's not messy. Except when you spray it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this red squirter here. And you squirt it right down between the links and between the roller here. And you do it on all four surfaces. You got two on this side, two on this side. And I do the fifth right down the center. And that lubricates the chain pretty good. As the chain goes around the circle, centrifugal force will go to the outside. At the very end, I'll squirt some on the outside just to make sure it's lubed there. Because this will coat the chain here and eliminate the rust coming back. Also keep some water and stuff off. It doesn't build up either. Here's my race bike. I lube it for every time I race it. See, that's why it's only on the bike that's black. Everything else is brown from dirt. So this has been on there for years. It doesn't leave any buildup. You go like that. See, it's almost nothing because it dries to a wax finish. And you can see up the side of my chain guard up in there. It's been years since I've cleaned up in there. You see, it doesn't really build up much either. So, but it's there all the time. It's well coated. Keeps everything nice and clean and working. Even O-ring chains need lubricant. The O-ring is only from here to here. There's no O-ring on the inside over here. So there, water goes in and rusts the pin out. Only lubricant will keep that from happening. Okay, so a new can here. So we're just going to spin the wheel and point it right in here. Okay, it's well lubed. Okay, so now we've got a good layer of lube on everything. So that'll dry in a few minutes to more of a wax finish. So you can see how it's coming through the chain right here on the outside a little bit, working its way through. So I'm going to go ahead and squirt a little bit on the outside also, just to make sure it's good. So we can just go like this here, it's fine. It's still hard to turn, so this mainly keeps it from rusting out here. Okay, and after we're all done, we turn the pan upside down. Try to blow some of the crap out, which never seems to work. So now everything's pretty well lubricated. That should last for a long time like that. Now, every time it rains, you ride in the rain, you wash your bike, whenever it looks like it's getting dry, lube it. Doesn't matter how often it is, lube it. That way it will last. If you don't do that, it'll tear itself to pieces pretty quickly. I know he's got a mess to clean up, but it doesn't look like he cleans it anyway, so we're okay. Alright, that's it for the lube. Alright, just getting ready to get the bike off the rack and do a couple final things so I can work on the front end. So, just getting the key off, and I didn't notice looking at the bike here, go, what the hell is this line going up here for? So I follow the line down, and there's the engine breather. Now, instead of running out the back of the bike and letting it blow out in the air where it belongs, they're putting it right back up into the air cleaner up here, and filling the air cleaner up full of oil. That's why you get all this oil and everything everywhere, I guess. See, the carb is covered in oil. So don't run that there. See this up in here? These go to the heads. This is your head breather. It goes through the baffling up there. This one here should be going right to ground. I wouldn't have that sucking out of my motor. I don't like oil up in there anyway, but that just makes it harder. Put all the oil in the motor. At least let some of it get away. So we're going to get rid of that. You had the clamp on there all the way. So, how much blood am I doing to donate to the cause here? That's the question. One thing about stainless lines, they make you bleed. Excuse me. Damn. All those chain fumes are getting in my nose. Damn. Stinky. Alright, let's see what we're going to do here about not making myself bleed. Alright, got that far. I'm going to make it go to the back of the bike now. Let's see, how am I going to do that? It's going to be fun. That's how I'm going to do that. The 90 degree is not helping. Doing except putting my hand in there and forcing it, which is going to make me bleed. Sharp edge in there. Longer screwdriver. Ah. There we go. Ah. Sharp edges. Ooh. Ah. Ah. Damn it. Poke me in the fingers. Damn it. Stupid ass clamp is fighting me now. This needs to come off of here. There, clamp's gone. All right. Probably easier to pull the damn thing off and start over, but I got it going down there, but you can't. There's a bunch of electrical stuff down in there that's rubbing on. It'll rub through that and cause shorts and cut things off. So I'm going to cut the thing right across here. See that little thing sticking up there? That got me already. So I'm going to get that across the top of the tube and run it down the inside of the tranny under here. On this side, there's nothing over there. At least that's what we're trying to do. It's protesting now. Just trying to poke me too. Okay, now that clamp is gone, it moves a lot freer. Alright, there we go. Perfect, I'll tie that sucker right up there. So now I'm going to put a zip tie on it, up high. So the brackets are right here, so we'll just put this thing right up in here like this. We'll zip tie it up in there. And as you go down the road, the oil will blow straight back and hopefully not the tire. You see how it's already dripping oil. It's already making a mess. It didn't take long. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get me a zip tie. Have to come right across the back of here, I guess. We'll do ourselves a big zip tie. There's some 12 inches right here for long things like this. Hopefully it's long enough. You always want the oil lines blowing straight back, but preferably downhill at an angle away from everything, especially the back tire. This is going to blow straight back, so I hit the swing arm, but it should stay off the tire. At least that's what we're hoping for. Okay. I like leaving things a little bit loose so you got some float. So we come out of there, I got to tighten up that fitting over there. Looks like we're staying off all the oil lines, or all the wiring. We're rubbing on one of the oil lines, but stainless and stainless ain't a problem. So I got the zip tie right here, but see it's just floating. This should just blow oil straight back. The exhaust pressure is blowing this way, so it should catch the airstream and continue blowing that direction. Alright. So now he's going to have a new oil leak. At least now it won't be leaking out of up here. So I need to plug this up here, so have to pull the air cleaner off the I'll let them worry about that. Gotta give them something to do. Hold the oil line up, then tighten. Okay. Now the oil line comes out of there, goes over there, just goes straight back. Right there like it's supposed to. You got a little bit of downhill here, so it's going to collect oil in there a little bit. Should be alright. Alright, so that takes care of that. That'll help clean up all this mess up in here a little bit. I don't know how much oil is coming out of the breather system here, but a little bit here, obviously. I'm sure the air cleaner is full of oil in there, which is not going to help power any. So that should be taken off and flushed and cleaned. Let him worry about that. Stuff like that the owner can do. Don't need me to do it.